Hey all. So, final war of the season is a rematch against Salty Warriors. Like I said last time, we have Masters locked, but if we beat them, then we have a really good shot at top 10. Even if we don't beat them, we have a good shot at top 10, but we just have. It matters less who wins or loses if we win this war. So, starting off, we have Doom against Wong. This is going to be annoying because it's Wong and because we don't have a House of X pre-fight, um, and because I don't know that parry failed. But basically, the thing to watch out for here is that in one of his modes, Wong can go unstoppable whenever you activate a buff. Now, obviously, this triggers on Dex, and that is not particularly fun. But the real problem is that this can happen when Doom activates his special 3 and gets that big Fury. So we are watching out for that. Apparently not super well since I just hit into that unstoppable. But we are watching out for that as we come out of our special 3. And even though we know that stun will stick, we just want to be careful. So we throw this here. Again, knocking him down, even though it does cause him to go stun immune, just to make sure that we get rid of protection and benefit from the big passive Fury. So there he is. He immediately went unstoppable because it is the blue spell that causes that. Unfortunately, parry didn't work right there. Anywho, we did perfectly time that heavy right there and knocked him down with it right as he went over 90, diffused his dimensional energy, so that part was nice. But like I said, I wasn't worried about Doom losing this fight bluntly, even though I was hoping that I could punish that heavy fast enough to hit him a couple times and throw my own special 3 instead of his. But that's fine, this is Doom. He has some of the highest armor in the game. I wasn't expecting Doom to lose, but I was fully expecting Wong to be annoying, and that is exactly what happened. So, it is what it is. I knew this one wouldn't be particularly pretty, and we would heal up later. And let's see, he throws this one. He goes unstoppable, we wait it out, and there we go. Alright, so moving on to Nick Fury here. If you've been watching the channel, you're probably already wondering, why didn't you bring Toad? You love using Toad for Nick Fury. And you are correct. I really wish I'd been able to bring Toad. But the specific people that we had with various things ranked up basically meant that I had to take this lane and lane 5 where there is a Longshot, and I don't know. I've taken Longshot on nodes like that with Reed before, but I did not want to push my luck. And obviously Toad is not great for Longshot, and Doom is... I know you can fight Longshot with Doom, but personally I hate it because Longshot's bad karma will like steal your power steal, and it just gets spooky really quickly. So, because Penny Parker is Incinerate immune and can push Longshot pretty safely to his special 2, and because she can take Nick, not quite as well as Toad, but still pretty efficiently by locking off his second life, she actually should be slightly safer here if we play well. I decided to use her for both of them. So obviously, we already made one mistake there. As the protection was coming back, we hit into him. It ended perfectly on time for him to parry us. Thankfully, Autoblock saved us. He wasn't that high up yet. We're going to try... I don't know, man. We're trying to get an opening here, but yeah, I was not able to dex back there when I definitely wanted to. I'm going to go ahead and get even more charges here. Power Burn is going to help out, bring him down below a bar. And then we're going to miss another input, and good lord am I lucky that he didn't end either of those combos with a light. Just very frustrating to have inputs fail against Nick Fury, because he is not a fun person to have things fail against. Anywho, I don't want to throw this special 2 and waste it, so I am waiting for an opportunity one way or another, either to be able to block him and throw a heavy, or to be able to do this, intercept him, get that combo so I can block him, throw this, and then sidestep into that special 2. And there we go. That's the fight. So, if this fight had gone, like, if my inputs had worked properly, then the fight would have finished the same way, probably about a full minute earlier, and I would have had way more health, and my heart would not have been leaping out of my chest. So, that one's definitely frustrating, but got through it. Then we have Apocalypse here. I've taken this before. Reed is the tactic subdue, and just really shuts this down pretty hard. Like, Apocalypse is going to throw more specials than I want, because he's Apocalypse, and he's rude. But we're going to be controlling Power Snack and his own power gain enough. Every time we throw a special, we're going to be controlling the Flourish. We're just not really worried here. We'll take a little bit of Power Sting damage, but Reed's synergy with the Inequity Mastery is reducing even that. I'm going to go ahead and full dex this special 2, and heavy counter it to lock in our buffs again, and we're going to try and get to another special 2. Would love to be able to hit his block, because he is messing with our Petrify and Suppression, because Flourish is kind of canceling them out. So it was nice that he blocked and gave us that opportunity. And now I feel like I am really back in control. Like, I was never fully out of control, that's why Reed is so good for this, but at this point I'm confident that the fight is over. I'm not really worried about anything that happens from this point out. He is not crossing as many bars of power, so we don't have to worry about the Power Sting, and we're just good to go. Of course, the fight had to have one more failed parry right before the end, because why not? This was one of those wars. I just got hit way more than I wanted to. I couldn't even move on to the Killmonger. I accidentally tapped on the name of the other person. But on we go. We knew the Wong crossfight would be there. I figured it would probably be there going into Wong. Thankfully, I didn't think about it in planning this time. And Killmonger is just not somebody where you're particularly worried about him hitting a little bit harder and having some power out of the gate. Not as long as you have an armor breaker like Doom with the Mr. Fantastic synergy that you can use to keep Reverb under control. So we're going to try and get intercepts where we can. We're not really going to force them. The big thing here is to just keep the armor break up. If I can speed this up, I would love to. But yeah, important things, keep armor break up and keep going. I have no idea why I hit into his block. I think I was a little bit flustered by the parry failing, probably. But yeah, like I said, this one was not one of my best. Anywho, we bait this out, go for the intercept. He doesn't play along, so we just wait for the heavy, counter it, get the armor break back up. There we get the intercept. Push him over 2 bars, throw the special 3. Now with protection down and the armor break up, this should do a good amount of damage, and we'll feel like we're making real progress. There we go, almost 20% off. And we go into our Doom cycle as per usual. Throw this, I take a look at how much is left on the Fury. Figure this is worth it. Because yeah, he will purify the Incinerates before they take him out, but that special 2 did such a good chunk of damage that it was absolutely worth throwing just to close out the fight that much faster. So if we can get protection off, again, we will, but not really going to worry about it. There we go, he can throw the special 2, and let's see if we can get an intercept here. Nope. There. Now we get one, and we sidestep into the special 2 to finish it off. So, moving on to Longshot with Peni. The idea here is that we should feel comfortable pushing him to his special 2, because we are Incinerate immune, and so we don't have to worry about the Pure of Heart, Incinerate, Fate Seal, and just general Death Knell. So, the idea is pretty similar to what we just did against Killmonger, in that we are going to use Peni's normal cycle, which is special 1 right as your opponent crosses a bar, so that you get maximum charges, and then you intercept once and throw a special 2, and that closes out most fights. Like, Peni with the Fury from these nodes is an incredible nuke. But it does require the AI to play along a little bit. And I don't know. Wasn't really working here. So we're getting backed up. The Mighty Charge isn't helping. We are repairing in an effort to get some power. But he's backing us up. We go ahead and block this. Or no, sorry, we dex it. And man, if we had gotten the intercept there, I think the fight would have been over. But clearly we had an input fail. We burned some auto-block charges. He was not playing along. Still not playing along. I go ahead and burn this special 2. I know it's not going to be great. I know he's going to get rid of all these incinerates when he dashes forward. It is what it is. At this point, I just know I have to reset, because throwing the special 3 would be that much worse. And at this point, I throw this right here, expecting that because I have 9 charges, I will be able to purify the stun applied by his special 3. Because obviously the special 3 will apply the stun, and then he'll hit into me, I'll purify the stun debuff the way Peni always does, because I have 9 charges, and therefore this will only use up 1 charge of my indestructible. I was wrong. I did not know that the special 3 triggered Peni's auto block. And I definitely didn't realize that it would trigger her auto block before the stun debuff applied, and therefore would not be able to purify it. Now, that interaction does make sense, because auto block obviously has to happen before a hit lands, because that's how you block the hit. So I get it in hindsight, but I didn't realize that she could auto-block special 3s, because it's not like she gets a benefit from it. So yeah, that was an unfortunate interaction. So now we don't have an indestructible, which makes that right there tragic. I don't know. I had been on top of the special 2 dexes there. If we had still had 2 charges on our indestructible as planned, then we would have survived that. But yeah, 39k crit is a bummer. Clearly should have blocked it, but I think my instincts just kicked in, and I was like, you know how to block this. It's not a projectile with travel time that you're slightly further away from this time, so it'll catch you right as you finish your invulnerability frames. Yeah. So that was a bummer. This is not my favorite matchup. It is definitely one that works. The AI was not kind to us. I found a new interaction that I didn't know existed, and kind of verges on bug, in my personal opinion. But it is what it is. This does not decide the war. It doesn't take away my deathless season. Because I already lost it. So I will get over it. And you can see right there at the end, like, she deleted Longshot on the first, 3 hits of the special 2, let alone the rest of it. If we had gone for, or if the rotation we wanted had worked out in the first fight, would have been beautiful, and we would have been talking about how amazing Peni is. Something to keep in mind. I clearly should have not pushed him red, and then I could have fixed it. Next time I will know. So obviously Chavez is Chavez, which is why we have this House of X to try and prevent her from heavying as much. I throw the special 1 first. Yeah, so that I can have some extra power steal to try and get up to my special 3, so that I can basically stay on top of things and be that much faster, get the intercept, throw my special 3 with the Big Fury. Same basic principle as all of the other fights we've taken on Path 5 here. This does great. We go ahead and throw this. Or no, I forgot that we did not. She throws this, but I am going for another Fury. We get it, and now we have not only the Node Fury, but also double Fury from 2 special 3s from Doom. And this probably finishes it. I can't quite remember. Yeah, easily. Excellent. So, Doom is still good. This makes me feel a little bit better about the previous fight. And now we move on to a rank 5 Sasquatch. I'm not going to lie, I was a little spooked by this one. I have taken this before. I don't think I've died to it, actually. I have come very close. Extremely close. I remember winning one of these by the skin of my teeth. But I've also done this fight very well. I've seen very good models of this fight from Nerd over in BG1, from Campo earlier this season, also in my BG. And so I knew what to do. I was just basically kind of hoping that nothing went wrong. Because this is a big Sasquatch. It's a lot of health to chew through. The regen's going to be real. If he catches me with a special 2, the fight is over. I probably can't tank as many special 3s if that comes up. Just got to be careful. So one of the big things against Sasquatch is when you come out of the special 3, watch for him to go into Wrath of Tanarak, because if he does, and he goes stun immune, that's the main way you eat special 3. And you kind of have to take some chances, but because Wrath itself is on an invisible timer, if you're watching it, keeping in mind the last time it changed, you can kind of feel out where the safe intervals are to finish a combo and start another one into the stuns. It's spooky, but it works. So here we go ahead and Doom Cycle. We have 2 Furies. We throw this special 2. We know that he is dramatically reducing all damage because of all those rage stacks, but at the same time, Powerbacks and Mystic Dispersion are letting us throw these specials, so might as well keep doing them, because at the moment, they are doing an incredible amount of damage. We have the double Furies, he goes into Wrath, but we bait out the 1 Unstoppable Heavy and finish it off. So that is not necessarily my favorite way to play that. I normally expect him to trigger Wrath around 7 or so, and then I wait it out and then finish the fight, but I kept seeing openings, so I kept going for him, and rank 5 Sasquatch came down. So very happy with how that fight went. We move on to Mangog here. I've done this many times with Reed. Was definitely a little bit spooked by how long this was taking to load. And for the record, before I took these fights, I had restarted my app a few times. The red symbol of death was just there. So I wasn't really worried until I went into this fight, because we all know that that's a visual bug that happens sometimes. Thankfully it loaded. I was able to kind of trick the game into loading by picking up my phone while I was on my iPad, so it was like, ha, he's not paying attention. And then the fight loaded, and I was right back in it. I know that sounds absolutely crazy, it is superstitious, but I'm glad that the fight didn't disconnect. Anywho, the normal things here, we know we're not reversing his power, but we do have the extra security of Neutralize and Fate Seal, in case he does try to go unblockable and unstoppable. I'm expecting it right here. There we go. We neutralize them both away. Throw our second special 2. And now we are at max rank. We're still, of course, not reversing ability power rate. We can still trigger Mystic Dispersion, but we've already gone through his enrage mode once, and so I'm not really worried about the rest of the fight. We're fully rammed, we're below 50% health. We're probably going to finish this off with a special 3 because that's the way this normally works. Just alternate 4-hit combos with heavies. And here we go. Let's see how much damage this does with the big passive fury. And not quite enough, but willpower finishes it off. Well, reversed willpower. So anyway, those last 3 fights did kind of convince me I know how to play the game again, but sad about the Peni fight. I do really think that Peni is a very underrated war attacker. I am sorry that my rank 3 did a poor job of showing that today. The good news is that even though we did not win this war, we died more than my once, and Salty only died once. They are very, very strong right now. Even though we lost, we were still top 10 with the way things shook out. And yeah, so that's, I think, back-to-back top 10 finishes. So extremely happy with that. SSx really feels like it's rolling along quite well at the moment. And yeah, I already opened my war rewards on stream, just alongside my 8.2 exploration rewards. But as of the recording of this video, I have now officially reached 3,000 subs, for which I'm extremely grateful. Especially if you are still listening to this video 20 minutes in, I'm extremely grateful to you in particular. I will be putting together some kind of video to commemorate that. And until then, thank you so much for watching, and take care.